What's going on, others? Season 1,
episode 6. Yeah.
Not happy tonight, Steve. Don't ask me about my weekend. Don't ask me about what I did, what I didn't do. Not happy.
Oh, we're already there. Like we're not even
not happy. I mean, we'll get there. I'm just not happy. How was your weekend, though? I can ask you. How was your weekend?
I didn't watch a whole ton of college football. I mean, we both know what happened this weekend. Alabama took on LSU, and they were supposed to be our biggest challenge. LSU being ranked number 3 in the nation, and they were going to come in and hammer us down. This is going to be the biggest test for Alabama, and Alabama with 29 points, and LSU with. Refresh my memory. How many points did LSU score? Shaped like a donut?
Goose egg?
Shaped like a donut? Egg?
Yeah, goose egg. Like 0.
There's only a couple numbers that look like that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Roll Tide. That's for all the UCF people.
Oh, well, obviously your weekend was good then.
Yeah.
Got to enjoy a little bit of that.
Yes.
Outside of our Monday night frustrations, little Red Dead, little Madden.
Definitely played Madden for sure.
Yeah, little Gears even. They had some 6x XP.
Oh yeah.
I was like, let me jump on that. But that quad XP on the Madden had to dip my toe into that some too.
Yeah,
no doubt.
Shout out to I know he doesn't listen to our podcast, but shout out to Tim, aka Gamertag Crit 903 for the Red Dead Redemption 2 gift to me on Xbox.
Little blessings. Yeah, it was a good time. It was a good time to the old party chat that night.
Yeah, pretty good.
Let's get into these games, man, because I definitely got some things to say. I do know that much. All right. We're going to start over here in Washington. Here, Falcons, Redskins.
Yeah.
What happened?
Yeah.
That defense, that front seven, I mean, Falcons had a field day running the ball at them guys with Smith and Coleman.
Yeah.
Ugly. 38-14 for the Falcons to get back to 500.
Yeah. Matt Ryan, 26-38, 350 yards, 4 TDs, a pick.
Julio got a touchdown even.
Right. I mean, Matt Ryan was fairly efficient. I mean, he could have been better considering, but big deal. Julio with his first TD of the season. I'm not sure why it takes 9 weeks into the season to get your best wide receiver on your roster the ball in the end zone. But I mean, that's a problem for the Atlanta Falcons to figure out. They might want to do that before they make it back to the Super Bowl. And then Calvin Ridley. I mean, quick as a hiccup. Kid's fast. He can move.
Yeah. He took that little joint to the house real quick on that slant.
Yeah, caught absolutely. TVs. I mean, and then I guess really for me, fun fact / point to bring up, he's got a little brother named Riley Ridley at University of Georgia, maybe a tad faster than him. So next year's draft, keep your eye on him. Kid won't probably go first round, but whoever gets him, yeah. Also, Jack Crawford for Atlanta, former Cowboy, former Raider, getting acclimated to the system. He had 2 sacks for the game. And then I just kind of like with their particular issues at defense, I would think with the recent release of Bruce Irvin going unclaimed off of waivers, I'm wondering if maybe O'Quinn looks to pick up Irvin and bring him to the fold over there in Atlanta.
Maybe a little bolster for the rest of the year, definitely.
Definitely.
I mean, for me, the thing that definitely stuck out was I'm going back to the front seven, and we know what this Washington Redskins defense has done against the rush.
Right.
Everybody averaged 6 yards per carry against them. I mean, you had Coleman, 13 carries, 88 yards, 6.8. You had Ito Smith, 10 carries, 60 yards for 6 yards a carry. Even Calvin Ridley gets a carry for 6 yards.
Yeah.
And then, of course, when it pertains to the Redskins, so far, and there's a nice trend here for them. Mm-hmm. If Peterson isn't involved in the rushing game, they're typically going to take an L. And 9 carries, 17 yards at 1.9, probably not good enough.
Yeah.
Probably not going to win.
Looked anemic out there, man.
Yeah. Alex Smith, 1 carry for 22 yards, led the way. Obviously, not probably going to get it done, but probably bigger than this loss for Washington. Still in first place, slow possession in the NFC East. Injury front for them. You lose 2 interior offensive linemen.
Yeah, Brandon Scherf. That's a big loss.
He's a beast. Yeah, for those who don't know who that kid is, he is a beast at guard.
Yeah.
You also lose your free agent acquisition, Paul Richardson at wide receiver. Yeah. That's tough.
Yeah, they almost lost Alex Smith on a play there where he didn't quite get out of bounds.
All right, yeah, took a little shot.
Yeah, he took a shot.
You know,
could have been worse.
Redskins take the loss there, but man, going forward, lots of injuries that hurt them. They did scoop up a guard, former first-round pick out of North Carolina. He got drafted to, was it San Francisco? No, it was San Francisco. Who drafted? Arizona drafted him. I'm sorry, Arizona drafted him. Mm-hmm. He was with Dallas last year, and Jonathan Cooper. Mm-hmm. So try to bolster that offensive line after those 2 injuries. We'll see what he can do for them going forward.
Yeah.
Divisional battle.
Yeah.
Lions, Vikings.
Yeah.
Very businesslike for the Vikings, I would say. 24-9. 5-3-1. Still a pseudo tied game behind the Bears. Yeah. Lions got rid of Golden State. Here's their return directly afterwards. We talked about it on the preview show, the running game. And, LeGarrette Blount had more than 3 carries this week, though. He had 5 for 8 yards.
Yeah.
Carry on Johnson, 12 carries, 37 yards. Still can't get that run game going. And you have one less weapon in the passing game now for Matthew Stafford. Don't know if there's much to expect for the Detroit Lions the rest of the year going forward.
Yeah, some of the things I kind of identified with this, and I'll go a little extended here. There wasn't a tremendous glut of offense from the Vikings. Of all the stats that you're thinking about or you're reading about this game, the most important stat was the Vikings got 10 sacks on Matty Ice in that game. And there's so many reasons, like 5 of them you could blame the O-line. Some of them are coverage sacks. Some of them are Stafford doing the same thing that he's been doing for years, holding the ball too long. And I think one was like on a cornerback blitz, setting protections. And I don't know if that's the offensive line that needs to do that, or, Stafford sees something and he doesn't adjust, or what. And just trying to like dig into it a little bit. Some of the words coming out of Matt Patricia's mouth during the press conference, fundamentals and execution is the problem. Okay. So like, you're the first year defensive minded head coach. You've got to know your roster. The organization where you came from identifies personnel, and in that particular organization, they root out, bench, or cut a player if expectations aren't being met. Sometimes it's an age or contract thing where you hit a certain threshold. Asper Seymour, Ty Law, Willie McGinnis, Adam Vinatieri, or lately Jamie Collins or Malcolm Butler. You needed to take a look at the free agent market at the trade deadline and made more moves than cutting Golden Tate or picking up Snacks Harrison. You need to make some adjustments on that O-line. I mean, you live and you learn, but you should have learned this already. You spent over 10 years in New England at how many different coaching positions? You got 3 Super Bowl rings, and now you're 3-5. You probably should be 6-2 or 5-3. You could have had the Jets game. You could have had the Niners game, and/or possibly the Cowboys game. Some's got to get fixed over there in Detroit, and they don't have much time to play over there as an organization because they've been making so many coaching changes over the past decade that they're not going to tolerate it. They're not going to be patient. So.
Yeah. Definitely watch, rinse, repeat.
Yeah.
Minnesota-wise, they definitely throw the ball a lot. Dalvin Cook coming back to the fold.
Yes.
Looking pretty healthy.
Yes.
Also, I mean, speaking of those 10 sacks, Danielle Hunter,
Yes.
3.5,
Yeah.
leading the league now.
Yeah.
Man, just a monster game from him. But, I mean, whenever you can't, when you're under pressure and duress, be nice if you can run that ball. And, yeah, just couldn't get it done. I mean, Matthew Stafford running it 5 for 6 times, which means, or 5 times for 6 yards means, I'm under pressure. I'm about to get sacked for the 12th, 13th, 14th, and 15th time. Let me get just past the line of scrimmage before I get tackled.
Amen.
Is what that boils down to.
What was it, 24-9?
Correct.
He was punch drunk. Dude was concussed. I bet he was concussed at some point. 10 sacks?
Man.
I mean, this ain't the game where your boy in ATL, what was it? Adrian Claiborne, where he went nuts on Dak that one game.
Oh, yeah, last year.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
this ain't that. Yeah, this ain't that. This was something else, man.
Yeah, it was ugly, no doubt.
Yeah.
Got to figure that run game out for Detroit still.
Yeah.
And then we got to the old black and blue game, Steelers at Ravens. Steelers get the win.
Yeah, buddy. Important
23,
win.
yeah. Divisional win gets them to 5-2-1, 23-16 now.
Yeah, turned up the wins, and they also turned up the heat on the head coach over there in Baltimore.
We'll touch on that here in a little bit. That boy, James Conner, still doing James Conner things.
Yeah.
I mean, 24 carries, 104 yards, another 7 catches, 56 yards. Just keeping on. Things have kind of settled themselves down. Yeah. Joey Flacco, I mean, just 23 of 37, 206. And there's a couple drops. There was also some very uninspired passes from him. And that was the trend from last week. So, Flacco being Flacco, when you get this kind of – and I guess the thing that's frustrating is, right, yeah, don't get me wrong. And, Pittsburgh's on the uptick and they're winning and stuff, but the defense still isn't all the way back to where it needs to be. There's plays to be had and made against that defense.
Yeah,
and
they're also dealing with a glut of injuries, though, man. Like you got guys in.
No. I'm just talking from the offensive side.
Oh, okay.
For Baltimore, just the offensive side.
You just said defense, and I was like, defense wasn't where we're supposed to be at. So.
Right. No, I'm talking about Pittsburgh's defense not quite being there yet. So there's plays to be made against that Pittsburgh defense.
Sorry, I missed it.
No, it's okay. Yeah, but you would think Flacco could probably get something done there, and unfortunately just wasn't able to do it. Came up short, and now they're at 4-5.
Yeah, man, there's some interesting stuff going on over there. I mean, and sometimes, hey man, they just drafted that young man out of Houston, QB feeling the pressure. Sometimes execution starts.
Louisville.
Oh, Louisville. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Sometimes execution, it starts with the QB, and when you're worried about somebody breathing down your neck, sometimes things don't go the way you need them to.
Yeah. Also, that report out there about Flacco and some of his backups over the years.
Oh,
Mean Reid.
Yes.
Mean Reid there.
Yeah, I read that. That was
tough. Now, on to the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Mahomes doing ho-hum, 375, 3 touchdowns, and if Kareem Hunt wasn't going upside Cleveland's head, he might have threw 4 or 5 touchdowns.
Boy, let me tell you. I asked Adrian Wooldridge, our resident Chiefs fan, I asked him, why didn't Patrick Mahomes throw for 400 yards the other day? Just like, we can't get 400 out of you? Because that's how good this kid is now. It's like, bro, you couldn't give us 400? You couldn't feed the fantasy section of the football world? Come on, bro. We need 400 from you every time.
Little candy. Candy.
Yeah, man.
Well, I'll tell you it put him up to 29 touchdown passes on the year.
Yeah.
They're at 8-1. Record's 55. And then you look at his division, and he gets to play, the Raiders still. And you kind of look at some of these upcoming
left
games.
of the Raiders.
Exactly. And you kind of look at some of these upcoming games that he has. I'll be intrigued. to see if he really he has a chance here.
Yeah.
He has a chance, to possibly challenge, for that record. It'll be interesting to watch that going forward. But of course, yeah, like you said, I mean, 375, 3 touchdowns. We're like, well, man, he could have done a little bit more. But Kansas City gets the win, 37-21 to get to 8-1. Browns fall to 2-6-1. The intern, Greg Williams, he was aggressive, going for it on support downs, going for some 2-point conversions. Cleveland hunts up for a little bit, but then you see certain things. Browns running into each other on a blocked extra point attempt. Your number 1 overall draft pick getting sacked while the tight end and tackle are arguing about who should have got him before. Baker's all the way down on the ground.
Yeah.
Bruce Arians came out and said he'd come out of retirement, and he would bring his defensive coordinator with him as well, Chuck Pagano.
Yeah, I think he amended the statement by Monday, and it was like, it's the only job I would come out of retirement for, but I really was more just trying to push for Pagano to get a job. So,
yeah. I think he probably stepped out there and the film was like, whoa, your health. Because that was my first thing. I'm like, that's a great hire if he's healthy. And we kind of know what that was there at the end of Arizona. So
yeah, and I mean, let's be honest here. Health or otherwise, he isn't the first option when Cleveland's going to interview for head coaches.
Oh no,
they're next season. So
I would imagine more likely they're going to Norman to go talk to Lincoln.
Yeah, there's a guy over there. I heard he used to coach
but
a guy on the Cleveland roster.
When you have a guy like Bruce Arians coming out and talking about stuff like that, it just lets you know the wealth of talent that is there.
Yeah,
and if they get the right coaching in there, that team can be going places.
Yeah, I mean, very, very good point. Like in the last 4 or 5 decades, right? Whoever in their mind said, "I want the Cleveland job."
Right, I'll come out of retirement for that.
I mean, realistically, Sam Darnold just got drafted. There was a lot of rumors while he was still at USC that he wasn't coming out for the draft because he didn't want to get drafted to Cleveland. Like how quickly that changed with the roster being put together. And now people are like, yeah, I'd take the Cleveland job. Well, there you go.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah. Well, on to what we called a must-win game for Miami at the 4-4 point against the New York Jets. They get the win 13-6. Ugly game, defensive-minded game for sure. Still don't understand it, but Frank Gore's just going to run until his legs fall off. 20 carries for 53 yards. Meanwhile, Kenyon Drake only gets 3 rushes for 9 yards. Osweiler doesn't turn the ball over. 15-24 for 139. The other quarterback turned it over a little bit. Again, Dolphins get out with a 13-6 win to get to 5-4. I'm intrigued to see because now there's a decision coming whether to go back to Tannehill because apparently he's healed now, or they're going to stick with Brock.
Yeah, I don't think Tannehill's coming back just yet. That injury's not quite where they need it to be. Also, the other side of the game, there's talk of sitting Darnold. And I'm like, I don't know if that's quite the answer, but I can bet you that whether they do or they don't, by next year there'll probably be a new head coach for the New York Jets. Additionally, there a little bit of turmoil coming out of that locker room, especially with Jamal Adams. He had plenty to say about not liking to lose. I mean, that kid comes from a winning program, DBU, LSU. I mean, it's not a game. His dad was a football player, and there's habits, there's things built into his DNA that he's not going to allow to let slide. So, I'm watching for the Jets situation to unfold too. It's a shame because
I mean, Sam Darnold, had the 4 interceptions, which we were mentioning, but there's not much help around him. And of course, everyone's going to go off of it's a copycat league. Young quarterback. Well, we got this defensive coach here. Get him out. Let's go get a young offensive-minded guy to turn him around. And I don't want to say turn him around. He's a rookie with not a lot of guys around him, like we just said. He knows he has to play better than that, and he has played better than he did against the Dolphins on Sunday. So, are there other issues there? Yeah, but there was things circling there last year, and then obviously this year as well. I don't want to say it's a dead man walking that head coach, but – Getting to 3-5, we got to see the way the rest of that year plays out for them.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely looking like he won't be returning. Sure hope he has very few items available in his office to take home, because week 17 or 18, that's going to be it.
Yeah. Well,
cardboard box.
Clear out your office. Mm-hmm. Bears, Bills.
Another quarterback conundrum.
41-9. Bears getting to 5-3. Bills fall to 2-7. I mean, the Bears offense didn't have to do much, and actually they didn't do much because the Bears defense was busy scoring points.
Wow, man.
I mean, Nathan Peterman, 49 passes. Yeah, we already know what that's going to mean. 3 interceptions. Actually, I'm really surprised. He threw 49 passes, and it was only 3 interceptions. I'm just being honest.
Nathan Peterman keeps it up, or the Bills keep it up with starting Nathan Peterman. He's going to become a meme. That's all I got to say.
I mean, he did have 8 carries for 46 yards and a touchdown, though. Maybe he should be a running back. Maybe they should have took the newly signed wide receiver, Terrell Pryor, and just said, hey, just play quarterback. Just sling it. Yeah. It couldn't have been much worse.
Well, LaShawn McCoy's nicked up. You're not really giving him that many touches. And then Kelvin Benjamin, I don't know what's gone on with him since he's been traded from the Panthers to the Bills, but I think that guy goes to sleep every night in a Dunkin' Donuts shop. Like, he wakes up in the morning in the back with the donuts, because he's not even a receiver no more. He's a tight end.
Yeah, I was going to say, well, maybe he's close. He's about a half a Krispy Kreme away.
Just a half?
No, not a whole one, just a half of one.
Gotcha. Yeah, well.
Just a half.
Tubby. Kelvin Tubby Benjamin.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean,
no fat shaming or anything. I'm just saying.
No, he's
gained weight and he's lost. Yeah. He's lost more than a step.
Yeah. Just perplexing, and we kind of talked about this, I believe, in like the first, kind of the preview show and everything at the beginning. Of this team was a playoff team last year, and just kind of blew it up a little bit. I mean, not overall, but certain moves that they made, and it's like, well, I hope that kind of works out, and the results are there for you. 2-7, looking for the draft, and now starting to get in play for that number 1 overall. So
yeah, they're definitely drafting QB.
No, they're going to ride Josh Allen. Just drafted him in the first round.
I don't care what they did.
No way.
Okay.
No way. They won't take it, not in the first round. Now, I'm not saying they might not take a QB later in the draft. They won't take one.
Yeah, maybe not the first round, but they're taking another QB, and Nathan Peterman will be cut.
Bro.
Barkley probably won't be there unless he's competing for the third spot.
Whatever he has a degree in, or if he can sell insurance, maybe. I hear that's big in Buffalo. He's definitely not a quarterback, and I'll leave it at that. And that's on one. Yeah, Peterman.
Unless they're gonna take, I don't know. If I'm the Bills coaching staff, I seriously entertain making sure I got a playbook drawn up or we need to go dial up the old playbook for Tyrod while he was still here in Buffalo, and let's start running some plays with the second team for Terrell and see how that works. And maybe we start with that next year.
Here's my thing. You benched Tyrod for Peterman last year, and you saw the results you got. Yeah. And you went right back to Tyrod.
Right.
Okay? Then you went through this preseason, and your coach, Buffalo, bold-faced, got up there in the press conference and said, Peterman has earned the right to start. Shipped A.J. McCarron out of there. He played not even a full game. And, Josh Allen is your team now. Josh Allen gets hurt. I don't know what the coaching staff sees in Peterman or thinks they're going to get out of him outside of interceptions. Hey, kid, I mean, they're paying you. I understand. But he has shown time and time again, and they might have been better. I know they signed Barkley there at the very end. Maybe they should have threw Barkley out there. I don't know. Call up Jay Cutler. Call up Jay Cutler. Call up Jay.
I know this.
He's got a cigarette.
I know this coach, though, man. This coach, he may not be gone this year, but he's putting himself on the hot seat. He keeps it up with this kind of stuff.
And he didn't have to.
Right.
And that's the thing about it. Like, you didn't have to. It's too much time about the Bills, though. They're out of here. They're not going nowhere. Good grief.
Right. Yep.
Oh, man.
Yep.
Bucks, Panthers.
Oh, yeah.
It was Fitz tragic early as the Panthers mounted a huge lead.
Why are you going to call him that?
And then a little Fitz magic late for you fantasy football teams in garbage time when the Panthers played off of him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, man, Carolina came out. Defense was popping. You got Mario Addison with 3 sacks. You know, Dante Jackson, rookie out of LSU, DBU, had Mike Evans locked down. And when I say locked down, I mean Mike Evans ran through 4 quarters of football on Sunday with 1 catch.
Yeah, I know. He's on my fantasy team.
So, and then, I mean, you know, defense played fast. They played mean. I mean, they were engaged there for pretty much the first half of the last quarter. I mean, McCaffrey ran like he was angry. I mean, there was one play where he hurdled the defender, and I think I posted this in the group. He hurdled the defender, got up, was talking smack on his way back to the huddle. Like, see, you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't a game. I mean, to them, like, they came in to come stomp on them, handle business, and move on. And then, you know, you got the Bucks. I mean, I'm not going to talk bad about Fitzpatrick because people love him. There's people in the group that love him, and, you know, that's all fine and well. Y'all love him.
He's entertaining.
Yeah, he's entertaining. That's why no one's ever signed him to a long-term deal. But whatever. You know, they're the bungling Bucks now. You know, I mean, the punter even got a pass attempt on some failed fake punt. You know, you're going for it on 4th and 9 from your own 26-yard line in the second quarter. Okay, I mean, it just seems desperate. But I mean, like, to me, it kind of like what encapsulated the day. And I have a quote here. What encapsulated the day for me was Curtis Samuel's double reverse touchdown. It was like 33 yards. Okay. I mean, with the ESPN stats I was reading the other day, it was 104 yards because he ran all across the field to get to that touchdown.
Oh, Tecmo Bowl style.
Right. Tecmo Bowl. So the quote is from the head coach. We were in man coverage on that play. Our 2 defensive tackles ran into each other. So JPP, Gerald McCoy. Our 2 defensive tackles ran into each other. Our 2 corners chasing their man ran into each other. And then our pursuit and tackling and effort on that play was just not what it needs to be in any way. It looked like a Keystone Cop play. You talking about your own roster looking like Keystone Cops in week 9. I read something interesting the other day. In an article about the Bucks, and I don't really read a lot of Bucks stuff, like not even close. Like I probably read more Cowboy stuff than I read Bucks stuff, and I have no interest in the Cowboys. Somebody said maybe Dirk Cutter's trying to get himself fired because he's not going to be able to go get the QB that he probably wants in the draft. There's no way he's really going to be able to fix what's going on defensively, because I don't think he believes in his defensive coordinator currently. And then he's going to be stuck with either Ryan Fitzpatrick or some QB they just drafted on the roster. Like, he can't win. He might as well get himself out of there by the end of the season instead of waiting until next season to go ruin himself. So, interesting stuff going on over there in Tampa Bay. Maybe the Glazers might want to go jump on a plane from England and come on back and see what's going down.
Maybe so. But on to the other side, though, Cam Newton in the postgame with the impeccable, and I do mean impeccable,
yes,
Norv Turner impersonation.
Love it.
With the T-shirts to boot in some press conferences this week.
I want the T-shirt.
Yeah, me too. Oh man, me too. But as far as the game goes, 19 to 25 for 247, 2 touchdowns.
Yep.
McCaffrey double dipping 17 carries for 79 yards and 2 touchdowns. Also led the team with 5 catches, 78 yards.
Yeah.
Olsen doubled down in there for that for a touchdown as well.
And ran like an angry horse in that game. He sure did.
Yeah, once, man. It's weird, because remember now Tampa used to have a guy they called the muscle hamster. Remember that? Because he was small and he was compact and things like that.
Yeah.
Might need to move that name over to this kid right here. McCaffrey start calling him the muscle hamster because you just don't see him, and all of a sudden he just comes out and he's gone, like a little hamster, and he's just all, runs a little angry. I like it. Good pick by them.
Yeah,
good pick by them.
Very good pick. I wanted him when he got drafted. I definitely wanted him.
Yeah, you got your nice little running back though now.
Yeah, but
yeah. Then over to Chargers in Seattle. That team, the one I was talked about last week, and
tough road win for any team. I mean, let alone like the Chargers. Like we said, if any QB could go into that environment and do it, it'd be Felipe.
And Felipe got it done. 25-17 to get to 6-2 and stay on the heels of the Kansas City Chiefs. Hawks fall to 4-4, back to 500 for them, with a chance late. If you caught the end of the game, high drama. It's 25-10. They get the score. They get the ball back. No time left. Pass interference in the end zone. So you get it on the 1. Then you false start. Now you're back to the 6, and then clunker.
Lost
chance for him to catch it. The ball got tipped a little bit. That probably threw the trajectory up just enough where he couldn't haul that in. Melvin Gordon, man,
took care of business for the Chargers, buddy.
16 carries, 113 yards, and a touchdown.
Yeah.
You'll kind of notice a theme through these games as we go through them. The teams that seem to have a semblance or something of substance in the run game seem to be winning, don't they?
Of course.
Yeah. Imagine that.
Those running backs aren't so undervalued after all, are they?
No, not as much.
Yeah.
Flip side, though. Yeah. Flip side, and what we talked about the previous show as well, and I was saying, man, Seattle's starting to kind of figure out this run game some. And hey, Mike Davis.
Lost.
Yeah, they did. But Mike Davis, 15 carries, 62 yards, 4.1. Russell Wilson, 5 carries for 41. Chris Carson, 8 carries for 40. So, I mean, getting there. Yeah. It's getting there.
Yeah. Again, I mean, I think in my notes, I think I had like the Seattle kind of threw everything at them, the Chargers, with the running game. And they still lost, man. I mean, like, everybody was getting touches. When your QB can rush 5 times and pick up 40-plus yards, I mean, there's a couple times in there you probably grab some first downs, especially considering who the QB is in Russell Wilson. And then, at the same time, Seahawks played sloppy ball, man. They were down 17 with the last 7 minutes of the game. So, I mean, like, I guess kudos for coming back, but at the same time, like, this win margin could have been a little bit larger for the Chargers. I mean, missed extra point attempts and 1 missed field goal. I mean,
and Caleb Sturgis is now officially cut. Yeah, he's out of there. So
that's what it is.
Poor Chargers. I mean, last year too.
Poor NFL, man. These damn kickers, bro.
Enough. Yeah. The NFL for sure this year, but even last year, the Chargers missed out on like 3-4 wins because of kicking. Like, they started it last year, and now it's just like a virus that's spread through the league.
Yeah.
Tough.
Scott Backus, man, if you need an agent, you want to publish that research that you did. Man, actually, I
talked to him. He was like, man, time to update the log. I was like, yeah, it is. It surely is.
Yeah.
Oh, this moved the needle in the group this week.
Yeah, what's that? Oh, this game.
This Texans at Broncos.
Yeah.
19-17. Houston 6 straight now, 6-3.
Yeah.
Broncos dropped to 3-6.
Yeah.
Some questionable things at the end of the first half.
Don't even go there yet.
and some questionable things at the end of the second half.
Don't even go there yet. Hold on.
I'm not.
I'm going to let you have it in just a second, okay? Just a second. Deshaun and this offense, like, they were efficient this week, but not explosive like as they had been in prior weeks. And, like, kind of like both teams couldn't really get quite out of the starting blocks today. You know, you had missed field goals by McManus of Denver or whatever. But this game here, I mean, it could have went either way. That's all I have to say about the game. Now, please go. Let me hear.
Okay.
This ought to be interesting.
Yeah. Now, some heat. You know, the Broncos are to bring some heat and get to the shot about 4 or 5 times. But into the first half, you kind of hurry up and get out here to kick this 61-yard field goal and miss it, which allows Houston to complete a couple passes, get a field goal. Joseph decides to ice the kicker. Rule number 1, when you ice the kicker, if you're going that route, I'm not a fan of icing the kicker first and foremost, but whenever you're going to ice the kicker, you don't allow him to get the attempt off because you can look foolish. And what did you do, Joseph? You let him get the kickoff, and he missed it. So he gets to kick it again. And what does he do? He makes it. There's mistake number 1. Okay?
Man, you don't understand, man. Like, I'm laughing so hard for, like, dual reasons, you know. Like, this coach, you know, Vance Joseph, you know, with this ill-timed timeout, you know, trying to ice the kicker, and then, like, he's going up against the coach who's, like, situational football meter is on the low end, you know, according to history. So, like, it's like you bumbled against the bumbler, you know.
Right. And then you get a chance, though, right? Yeah. You get a chance.
Yeah.
You're in field goal range, albeit about a 61-yarder. You got over 40 seconds left in the timeout. Sounds like somebody else we know against Houston in overtime. And you know what? We're going to stop right here and settle for the field goal. We're not going to get our guy any closer, even though he's already missed a field goal in this game. Let's just sit it down right here. Hey, what does the other coach do? He ices the kicker before he kicks the ball. And then he lines up and misses it. And Houston wins the game 19-17.
Fun stat for you. The Houston Texans became only the second team in NFL history to win 6 straight games after starting 0-3. The only other team to achieve this feat are the 1970 New York Giants, who went on to finish with a 9-5 record and failed to reach the playoffs. Let's hope the Texans have better luck.
Absolutely. I spoke about this in the let's see, it was Friday preview. It was the Knicks and 6. I think it was Friday preview, and I was talking about Elway, and Elway needs to be checked. And this is before this game happened.
Yeah, this is where I was waiting for you to go too.
Yeah, and I still completely agree with that. Like, with the ownership and flex and things that are going on there, and like I said, Elway's not going to fire himself. Like, something needs to be done on that forefront. But for this game here, Joseph can't be excused for what he did. Now, the overall problem we get is bigger than just Joseph, but he's going to be made the scapegoat.
Top down.
Right. Elway's going to be like, oh, it's not me. It's him. It's not these quarterbacks that I drafted that are not here anymore. It's him. Again, I don't think everything is VJ's fault. I really don't.
No.
But Elway will be able to use what happened in this game to say, see, this is why he's not the guy.
To save himself, too.
And very much so.
Yep.
Very much so.
I honestly, with Elway, bro, that ain't a safe seat that you're sitting in with all the ownership dispute that's going on in that organization.
Right.
You know, like, there's no safe seat. You don't know what side of the family this whole thing could end up on, what group, you know, which family members associated with. Like, you don't know where this could all fall out. And the fallout, you know, of it, the head coach may lose his job, but you might be right behind him talking about, move out my way. I need to get to my car.
Well, somebody on the board, I mean, I get that he has a seat at the board as well. Somebody needs to say, hey, we need to huddle up together and, hey, we need to have a talk here.
Hey, look, let's be realistic. Johnny Elway, we respect what you've done for this franchise. with your time as a player and you as a GM. So maybe we don't run you out the door, but hey, maybe we hire a consultant. Let's see if you need some help getting it done to configure this roster so that hey man, people do it all the time at jobs, even people in executive level or mid-level positions. You get the job and there might be one aspect of the job that you need to execute, and maybe you don't know it so well, either be through unfamiliarity or, through non-experience, right? So, I mean, like, there's nothing wrong with bringing in somebody to maybe coach you through this particular process, the drafting of players, evaluating players. Hey, maybe, there's something else maybe you probably need to be involved with. Maybe you need to change your scouting department. Maybe you need to change whoever's your player personnel person.
I will say this. Well, I'll dial that back a little bit because I think a lot of other positions they've drafted, they've hit on pretty well.
But
this quarterback
thing
evaluation
is ugly, man.
Is super ugly. It is super ugly.
And the running back thing, that's another conundrum because, like, you pick some good guys, you pick some not so good guys.
Right.
And then some good guys you've ran off.
It looks like they got two good ones this round.
Yeah.
With Freeman and Lindsey. And they didn't even draft Lindsey for that's worth. But you got Booker out here who they did.
But are you going to keep any of those guys? Are you going to mess it up and send it to somebody else? You're going to give it to Gruden so you can make sure you go draft Justin Herbert out of Oregon? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. It's definitely coming to a head, if you will.
And it's a shame. It's a shame.
And better yet, maybe it's even better to be said that sometimes you just let them bring somebody in and you just technically change your title and, you're just going to a different section of the organization so you can disappear and shut up. We're not firing you.
I get it. I get that. I'm going to interrupt you, though. I get that. We're both kind of some OGs when it comes to this game, watching some of these players grow up. And your QB, I mean, if I'm not mistaken, is Johnny Elway.
Oh, yeah,
your money, you take Johnny Elway.
My number one.
Right.
Yes, sir.
So, for me, not that anybody is above reproach organizationally when we're talking about running teams, okay? But, like, Johnny Elway shouldn't be disrespected at the level where he's at, that somebody could go, hey, we're going to remove you and, reshuffle the deck and send you somewhere else so that you keep a job and we don't have to hear no PR about how we fired you when you didn't really have a chance, or whatever statement they want to spin from ownership. Maybe he just needs somebody to come in. Hey, look, hire Louis Riddick as a consultant. If you're the Broncos, right? Go hire Louis Riddick as a consultant, whoever the ownership is at that time. Let him come in and kind of help Johnny out. And if it goes sideways, well, guess what? You got your new GM.
Right. I mean, and for the record, Louis Riddick should have a job in this league.
He should have had the Giants job.
Period. He should have a job in this league.
Certainly.
In my opinion.
He should have had the Giants job, though.
And I hear what you're saying about that when it comes to Elway, but here's the thing. A lot of times a guy of that stature in that position, and I want to say that position, but for that organization, what he's meant, it's got a very big ego.
Yeah. No question.
And it's going to be kind of hard-headed.
And I think, actually, now that you mention that, old Shannon Sharp, old Shay Sharp over there on Undisputed, he's alluded to that a couple of times when they're spoken about either comparing Elway to GMs, particular situations on other teams, or talking directly about the Broncos. So, yeah, I wouldn't be shocked.
Well, definitely keep an eye on it. Definitely got to get some things figured out over there, no doubt.
Yeah.
Game of the week.
Boy, this was a game. This was game of the year.
Rams, Saints. Yeah, they hit you with it. Man, Saints jump out, Now, a little bit of controversy here, though. The nice little fake from the Rams, they could mark them short. They reviewed it. I still don't know how they marked him short still, even after the review. And that was beyond me. A little bit of momentum changer because you take the 3 off the board, per se, at least, and then, they go back down. But, Saints take advantage, get up to 35-17. But it was big because the Rams got that 17. They got that 3 right before the end of the first half. They came out the second half, and, man, they got after them. and were able to bring it all the way back after being down 21 to tie it up at 35. And then old Breeze and Payton, the still QB head coach, tag team title holders,
the OGs,
said, hey, just throw it to Thomas over there. There's no coverage. Poor Peters. Poor Peters.
That dude's hurt, though, man. He's hurt. Man.
I know it, but God bless.
He's hurt.
But, I mean, Brandon Cook's coming back home. I mean, we can go across the board on these stats. I mean, everybody was getting it in.
Yeah,
people were getting busy. You hear me? Everybody was getting busy.
Defense was eating, too.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But you had Brandon Cook, 6 catches, 114 yards. You're like, man, it's a pretty good day for a wide receiver. And his, coming home and everything. And then you flip over to Michael Thomas, 12 catches, 211 and a touchdown. I will say this, outside of the rest of the stats, Breeze with the 346 and 4 touchdowns. And I think Goff was close to 400 as well. 391, 3 touchdowns. I'll tell you one of the biggest things for me that changed in my pecking order here.
Yeah.
Alvin Kamara has definitely solidified himself in the MVP race as far as I'm concerned now.
I think short of Le'Veon Bell, I think he's the best running back in the league right now. I mean, I like the boy out of KC. Is it Hunt?
Yeah, Hunt.
Yeah, I like him a lot. But
don't sleep on what Connor's doing as well, man.
Yeah.
I hear you. I'm just saying, I get it.
His resume still needs to be built, brother.
I hear you.
We can't give that to him yet.
Yeah, I'm just talking about for the season so far. But yeah, man, Kamara was the dude. He was getting busy, man.
You can put him anywhere. You can line him up anywhere, bro. He ain't even got to be in the backfield. You can line him up anywhere. It's a damn shame.
So he definitely did those things. I was a little surprised, I guess, to an extent. They were up 35-17. Rams scored 35-24, and not that the Saints put it in neutral, but got a little lethargic there, just, trying to get to the end of the game some.
Conservative. Payton, conservative.
A little bit, and I hate to say that because, even after after they get into 24, they ran the little flea flicker, it didn't go over the top. He had to throw it underneath, so I don't want to say it was ultra conservative, but the play calling changed a little bit for sure, I think. It allowed the Rams to kind of get back in there. I think the prevailing thing, now the Rams are 8-1. Saints 7-1. Saints have won 7 straight now. The Rams got beat last year in the playoffs by the Saints at home. And now, you have this game here and how it went down.
Yeah.
And then maybe they meet again here in these playoffs. And that somewhat for the Rams, you have to, okay, they done got us twice. That maybe a little bit of a mental edge
Saints,
there. Now,
definitely have a mental edge on them. Yep.
Right, Now, obviously, Talib's coming back, but, the rumor, it's circulating out there now, by tomorrow, Dez is going to be a Saint. So there's another weapon on that side as well.
Yeah.
Hell of a game, man.
I don't want to get away from the game too much, but, man, what a reintroduction to the league if Dez Bryant gets this deal done and he signs with the Saints. Man. But it was a game, man. It was, for the most part, not down to the wire, but there was really no definitive winner. Till the fourth quarter, then you knew, all right, well, yeah, I think the Saints got them here, but it was definitely a game. The Saints definitely they are definitely renting space in the Rams, and that includes the head coach. Definitely renting space in the head coach and that team's head. And look for this showdown come playoff time. These were my 2 picks. I said, representatives for the NFC conference will either come out from the South or the West. We still need to watch what's going on with Cam, because Cam's doing some not phenomenal, but he's doing some very consistent things with that team. His leadership is amped up. He's definitely leading by example. The team is behind him. McCaffrey's an angry man. DJ Moore's doing things. The defense is tightening up. And, hey, man, you know, the Panthers are not to be slept on. So this is going to be a tight race coming down here to the wire here in that fourth quarter of the season.
Hey, man, and you got the Falcons coming on now, getting all the way back from that 1-4 starting. Now here they are, 4-4.
Kind of got to watch them, kind of.
Yeah. Well, the battle of the 12s.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Green Bay at New England.
Yeah.
You know.
Lackluster.
I mean, you know, here's the thing. You finish watching that game, right? That's the late game, the Rams and the Saints game. You finish watching that, and you're like, oh man, now here's Green Bay, New England, and it didn't have quite the same juice.
You think?
Yeah, I mean, 17-17 going to the fourth quarter, you're thinking, okay, here we go, and oh man, I mean, Patriots just took care of business. You know, the fumble, I mean, back-to-back weeks, right? Done in by a running back fumbling the ball to an extent for Green Bay. Now, albeit not off a kick return where you had a chance to go win, but they were driving, looked like they were about to get into scoring range. Jones fumbles the ball, and then, you know, New England's 14 points straight from that point, and that's it for you. You know, A-Rod 24 of 43, not very A-Rod-like, 259, 2 touchdown passes. Brady 22, 35, 294, 1 touchdown.
Don't forget Julian Edelman went 1 of 1 for 37 yards.
Yeah, I was going to say,
it was like a 40-yarder.
Tricky. Yeah, 37. Yeah, little tricky from the Patriots a little bit there.
Yeah.
Cordell Patterson in that backfield again, though. 11 carries for 61.
Hey,
just dial it up and find somebody.
Hey,
that's what they do.
And let's not forget, this could have been uglier. They didn't have Gronk or Sony Michel.
Yeah.
This could have been ugly.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think the one interesting note was Brady on the Monday Morning Quarterback talking about, I think I'm going to play the 2022 when we play Green Bay again so I can go up against A-Rod and break the tie.
Yeah.
He'll be like 45. But unfortunately, man, I didn't think they was going to win in the cross-country joint, and they lost to the Rams. They lose to the Patriots. 3-4-1, kind of what I expected.
Yeah.
You know, still not out of it. Bears at 5-3. They have a win on the Bears. They get to play the Bears again. Sellers at the trade deadline, though, I just don't know how it's going to get better for them. I mean, you got A-Rod. I understand that. You know, I think it's just one of those things where A-Rod has to be almost perfect for this team to win.
Well, I've heard it here and there, but some talk, man. A lot of people saying A-Rod should ask for a trade out of Green Bay. I mean, I know he's got that big old deal, but man, I don't know too many people who wouldn't take him. You know what I mean? I don't know too many people would take him. I mean, I could probably go to my team and go, if they say we want Odell Beckham for A-Rod, I bet you they give that up.
I'm just saying, I mean, and I'm going to use a basketball trade reference here since, I mean, if Jimmy Butler's worth 4 first-round picks from Houston,
ooh,
how many from the Rockets that is? Okay?
How long? I was waiting for you to use that reference.
How many first-round draft picks is Aaron Rodgers worth then?
Right.
A decade?
Hey.
10 years. I mean, my God.
Dude's worth 4 first-round picks, and when he retires, we want to see 4 more on the shelf. Yeah. Thank you.
I'm like, I mean, Mac, would they get 2 firsts for Mac and some change, right?
Man, Aaron Rodgers.
What does that trade look like? I mean, end of the day, though, that guy in that organization shouldn't have to do that.
Nah.
Obviously. But it's getting dire for that coaching staff, I believe, you know, and we've had some conversations that people don't know about behind the scenes, and we've always been a little bit aloof, miffed, like not sure what's the deal up there with McCarthy and A-Rod. And, you know, we talked about this in the beginning of the year of, You just kind of got rid of Jordy. You got rid of his quarterback coach, and
just dumped Aha.
Just Ty, get on up out of here.
Yeah. Off a drop.
Even in training camp, the new guys, and they were. I guess he was ruffling their feathers maybe a little bit, and I don't know. It's two straight losses. Need to get a win soon. I'll just leave it at that for Green Bay.
Yeah, good luck with that. Yep.
Then on to Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
Titans, Cowboys.
Yeah.
Titans win 28-14.
Hey,
gets a 4-4.
Yeah, let me before you take this, because I'm gonna let you have all of this.
Okay.
I only have one thing to say about this game. Marcus Mariota. I know there's some questions about his durability. I know there's questions about, whether he's particularly considered a franchise QB. All I can tell you is anybody that knows anything about Marcus Mariota, I know a ton because I used to follow him while he was in Oregon. No team, and I don't care whether you're a top 5 defense or the last ranked defense. No team should ever let Marcus Mariota duplicate anything that he used to do offensively at Oregon University. When Marcus Mariota starts running RPOs and some of the tricks and the gadget plays, that he used to do at Oregon, and running no huddle like they used to, the stuff that Chip Kelly used to run, man, any defense is out of their element. You can't hang with that kid. He's dangerous. They got the win. God bless the Titans. You can have it now.
So the Titans get to 4-4.
Yeah.
Cowboys dropped to 3-5.
Yeah.
Funny part about the 3-5.
Yeah.
And the reason I say that is because teams that are 3-5 end up with a 9% chance of going to the playoffs.
I seen you plug that in today on the site.
9. I said 9. 9. There was a 9 here at one time.
Oof.
And this coaching staff decided to go with the hot hand.
Yeah.
Even once healthy, went with the hot hand.
Yeah.
All right. And since then, that said quarterback has seemed to regress. I don't really put that on a young quarterback. I don't do that. I'm a dad guy, by the way, anyways. Here's all you need to know. If you don't know anything else about Scott Linehan, here's all you need to know about him and his play calling. I'll give you 2 plays that he called during this game. And I'm throwing out everyone wants to talk, and let me preface that. Everyone wants to talk about, well, we should have been up 21-0. No, I'm not going to care about that. I don't even care. And you can't count that. You missed the field goal. So forget that you should have been up. Okay, I don't care. You threw the interception in. So I don't care about none of that. Here's all you need to know about what hinders this team. On a 3rd and 16, you throw a screen to a running back not named Ezekiel Elliott. You throw it to Rod Smith. Down 2 touchdowns, time running slow, running out on you. You need a touchdown, you're in scoring range. Your idea of being creative is dialing up some sort of version of the Philly with Cole Beasley and Dak. That's what you do. Better yet, to really sauce things up, I guess, that's 2 play calls. But let's get into Zeke had 96 yards rushing and receiving in the first half. You give him the ball 6 times in the second half. Yeah, that's it's a winning formula. That's Scott Linehan for you in a nutshell. And and even to go a little bit further. I don't really care. I'm not going to go get into the argument what people think or don't think about Romo. End of the day, you can go look up the stats. They're on the wall. He has pelts. He's in the top 10 all-time touchdown to interception ratio at over 2.1. Okay? And he's over 100 rating. He had the same coaching staff that Dak's dealing with now has regressed over the past 2 years. I wonder what Tony Romo would have did with a better coaching staff as well, as we're all wondering what this team could do with a better coaching staff now. And End of the day, I was ready to jump on 20 West, go find Linehan and give him these hands. Wasn't quite sure I had enough bail money. I woke up today thinking, well, maybe they'll at least strip him of play calling. They haven't. Ineptitude is the word, which is fine. Jerry's on local radio saying, hey, Dax Young, we're going to extend him. That's also fine with me. You better go find a head coach and offensive coordinator, or it's not going to matter. Period. That's just what it is. It is exactly the same thing that's happened all year, game to game. And here's probably the most telling thing. Go dial up the Tennessee Titans offensive stats for the year. They're not good. Marcus Mariota hasn't had over 100 passer rating this year. He had one last night. And that defense, who was strong early for us, couldn't get off the field. 11-14 on third down conversions is what they gave up. Now the defense is faltering. Your offense, because they didn't stop Zeke, we stopped Zeke because we stopped giving Zeke the ball, because that seems like the thing to do. You know what this team looked like last night? Because we added Amari Cooper. We looked like the Cowboys last year when we had Dez Bryant. We just forced him the ball over there and then just stopped giving Zeke the ball all over again. Same day, same stuff.
Hey, man. But one thing I noticed while I was watching this game, and, cameras are everywhere, Ezekiel Elliott's face as he watched the offensive play calling unfold, very telling. That boy is not happy in Dallas.
Yeah, I mean, he shouldn't be.
And I brought this up earlier during our run of podcasts. When it's time to re-sign, Zeke takes a look around. Dallas is where he wants to be? Oh, no, buddy. I better hope you got a change of play callers, and he better be working towards the best interest of the Cowboys, because I don't see Zeke staying if you keep this up.
Again, you got to change it. Like I said, you got a different, 2014, right? 2014, you did it with Garrett and Linehan. All right, 15, Romo's hurt. So, okay, we got to do some stuff there. Something's wrong. 16, Romo gets hurt again, but it's Dak and Zeke. Same guys now, right? It's the different guys than Romo and Murray. And you go win. And then, boom, you're back down. Well, okay, 9-7, but Zeke, right? Zeke missed X amount of games, 6 games, one game out of there. Everybody's back. It is still the same stuff. It's except Dez, and now it's Cooper, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's literally, you've changed the components, and the results are still the same. Muddling, don't get the ball to the running back enough at certain points, and find a way to lose the game. I told the guys, shout out to Patrick Page, he was up there at Buffalo Wild Wings with me. I told him during that game, I said, dude, we're going to lose at halftime. I told him we're going to lose the game. He was like, no. I was like, no, we're going to lose the game. I said, we only scored here before the end of the half because they went back and kind of flexed, kind of played a little soft, and we went hurry up. When Dak's in the hurry up, he does play better, but we don't do it enough. Jason Witten even said it on the broadcast.
Yeah.
It said it was frustrating that he wouldn't get to those things.
Yeah, when he doesn't have to think, but, Marcus Mariota's kind of the same way.
Right, and I told him, I was like, we'll choke, we're going to screw this game up. And lo and behold, the second half they did, because that's who Scott Linehan is. I've said it before, I'll say it again. I don't know what he has leverage-wise over this organization, but if you can ever have that leverage at any of your jobs that are listening, hold on to it tight.
The Jerry tapes.
Bruh, it is ass to 9, ass to 10. It's mind-boggling. It just really is. I mean, we can sit there and look. First down, hand off from the shotgun, run it up the middle. Second down, we take some type of shot down the field that's low percentage, and we're probably not going to complete it. Third down, dump it off to a running back or a 4-yard out to Cole Beasley that's short of the first down, so you can't go get the first down. Punt. Wash, rinse, repeat.
Hey, you just got a guy over there just got traded to you a couple weeks ago. He's looking around. What's he thinking? Man, I jumped from the frying pan into the fire. I mean, I don't know, man.
Me either. 2 weeks though. You had 2 weeks. 2 weeks and a day to prepare for that. Oh, and guess what? Now you get to go to Philly on Sunday night. All right. No, good luck.
Yeah, Philly gonna give you the Philly special.
Yeah. I mean, we definitely couldn't run that damn thing.
Oh man,
tragic.
Yeah.
Get Linehan out of here. I swear. Get him out.
Not the head coach.
For now, I'll just take Lynn. I'm begging for crumbs here. I'm begging for crumbs. Just get Linehan out of here for now. And then we get rid of Garrett at the end of the year. I don't care. If they want to get rid of both of them, now that's fine too. I'm just going over what I think I can get, maybe, possibly. Please. I'm begging. Unleash the team. Get them out. Yes, get Garrett out of here too, but just give me something. Give me something. And it's
frustrating as a fan, eh?
You know who's laughing? Probably Whitney and Romo. I'll tell you somebody else who's laughing a whole big ton. Remember that guy from Fourth and Long? His name's Jesse Holley.
No.
Remember when it used to be Spike TV, right?
Yeah.
And Michael Irvin had the wide receiver and the cornerbacks, and they were going to get a chance to go to the trials with the Cowboys, and it was called Fourth and Long.
Yeah, I can't remember that. I don't think I ever watched it.
It was a pretty good show, and actually another guy went and played in the league as well. Anyways, Jesse Holley was the guy in San Francisco, the broken rib game. He caught the ball and was holding it up running towards the end zone. He ends up making the team and everything.
Yeah.
Go check him out on Twitter. He works the local market. Go see what he says. Pretty good stuff. It's enjoyable.
You have to send me that link.
Yeah. I will. I'll hook you up on that.
Yeah. Rough Monday night game, man.
But I'll tell you what, though, since we did just talk about that, and you know what we could do here?
Yeah.
We could revisit some of them hot seats we were talking about earlier this year.
Deep in the huddle replay. I'm talking about coaches on the hot seat.
Well, one of them that was on there is already gone.
Yeah.
Hugh Jackson. Oops, on my part. Yeah. Tough sledding there for that guy.
Yeah, who do we have? We had Hugh Jackson. We had John.
You had Harbaugh.
And we had
Dirk Cutter,
and then Gruden, right?
Yeah. That was the four.
Yeah.
Looks like we got three of them.
So one's gone already.
I did say, for the record, that I thought, well, damn it, Hugh, you let me down. Shout out to the one resident Jackson, Cleveland Brown fan in the group.
Jackson Howard. Yeah. I like that guy.
He's all right with me.
Yeah, I like him. But
so,
yeah, we kind of touched on this a little bit earlier in the cast. They have an interim coach, a lot of turmoil going on there. I mean, Josh Gordon's gone. He's probably getting prepped for his first round bye with the New England Patriots. Of all the places you could trade a guy to, right? You got the quarterback really not progressing. You have defense doing well, but, there's so many mental lapses and incontinuity and, people just don't execute, in one way or another. And most of it's on the coaches. You got rid of Hugh. You got rid of the OC, Todd Haley, in one fell swoop, which I guess you were hoping that whatever store that Cleveland bought that Jerry would go to the same store. And then now you've got Greg Bountygate Williams coaching the team. Now, he's not going to be your head coach next year.
Oh, no.
And, really, I guess the thing that really with this whole hot seat and Cleveland deal, it really sticks to me. You drafted a kid, talented, needs some coaching up. It would help if he had some weapons around him, that were consistent. And not that he has bad weapons around him. I'm sure he could have used Josh Gordon still on that roster, right? All of that aside, you have the potential to add this kid to the QB graveyard of the Cleveland Browns if you don't get this next coaching hire right. And that's the sad part about it. You know, Baker Mayfield has the chance to become a 30 for 30 special or part of one if they don't get this next coaching move right. Because the kid won the Heisman, the talent, you know, his story, becoming a QB at Oklahoma and, you know, and being drafted and, you know, he was on the rise and then now the situation happens here. And everything is just turmoil. And I just feel bad for this kid because he could probably be so much more. And now, well, we got Cleveland doing Cleveland things.
Yeah, I mean, there was apparently a rift between ownership and the GM. You know, the GM kind of wanted to keep
the
OC.
Yeah, and then the owner wanted
the owner kind of wanted the head coach, you know.
Met in the middle and said, kill them both.
Kill them both. I would be supremely shocked if they didn't go back up a Brinks truck to Norman, Oklahoma.
Hey.
We'll see. You know, we'll see what happens there, but
Bruce Arians throwing his hat in the job. I mean, throwing his hat in the ring or trying to throw Chuck Pagano's hat in the ring. So
somebody, I mean, he's throwing. The hats are being thrown.
Hats
already.
Are being thrown.
So there is that.
Yeah.
Now on to Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
Harbaugh.
Yeah.
Starting to get a little tight.
Starting.
3, but you know, hey, they got off to an okay start now. They're 3-1. You know, Joey Flacco, a little fire underneath him, was doing some things, and then the real Joe Flacco started showing up, and now the losers of 3 out of 4, some ugly L's in there. Starting to kind of see maybe it's time to turn it over to Lamar.
A lot of injuries, too, on the defensive side of that ball, man. Like, there's a lot of stuff going on.
Man, the injuries are definitely on the defensive side of the ball. I mean, there's some of that. But, I mean, there's a lot of people with a lot of injuries.
Yeah.
And, you know, we're not hearing the things that we're hearing about the Baltimore job. And him. And him now having to answer the question of, hey, how much longer are you going to be the coach here?
Man, I laugh at this stuff, right? Because, like, again, we're not fortune tellers. But this is at the beginning of the season. And at this point, we've gone through 2 coaches, right, that were on our hot seat list.
Yes.
And one's gone. Mm-hmm. And the other one, they just had to issue a statement on, you know, his job security and whatnot.
It's like I said, it's heat. It's getting hot in Baltimore.
Yep.
For sure. Then let's go over to the Bucks. One of them wrestlers, the Undertaker, whenever he was on the old American Badass, they had that gimmick, they had that thing that said "Dead Man Walking." Hey, that dude, I mean, whatever y'all want to call it, throw in the damn towel. Throw it in. It's only a matter of time before he's out of there.
And another one. Again, we're not being fortune tellers here. There's another one. And look, for what it's worth, top down, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Top down, you know. I believe there was a stat that I posted in the group over the weekend. I mean, of the 25 quarterbacks that the Bucks have had over the last 40 plus years that they've been operating as a franchise in the NFL, they've extended or gave a new deal to 0 of them.
Yeah,
0. So
that's mean.
Yeah.
Stats.
And here's the thing, right? Like, for those of you out there that didn't register for, especially you Bucks fans, like, there's a history. You know, I believe one of the comments I made to somebody on that particular post was, you know, 2 QBs, maybe that's a blip on the radar. 5 QBs, maybe there's somewhat of a hit or miss type of deal. 25 QBs, man, you got a pattern, an alarming pattern.
That's crazy because, until you posted it, I always thought Trent got a second contract with them, but I guess he didn't, though. He got so punch drunk early with them, they're like, nah, player, go on, move on. But I thought he got a second contract. But, whether we're talking about the Doug Williams of the world that they had, the Steve Youngs of the world that got up out of there.
Right, and all went on and won Super Bowls.
Yeah, yeah, man. Yeah,
Phil Simms' kid was there.
Yeah.
Man.
Tough.
Top down, buddy. That's why I said it. So.
And looks like Winston's going to make it 26, quite possibly.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, man. He's gone. He's gone somewhere. They're not keeping
clean house. Coach come in, get his own guy.
They could pull the swerve and go, we're getting ready to coach, and all the coaching staff fire the GM.
Mm-hmm.
And, get a new GM and, new coaching staff, hire a coach, new coaching staff, see how he works with Jameis, and then cut him loose.
Yeah, they could. I'm thinking clean sweep, though.
Yeah, that's
just clean sweep.
Yeah.
You already fired the defensive coordinator.
Yeah,
just go and drop the hammer on the rest of it.
If you pretty much already fired the QB.
Right.
Yeah.
So you in a way you almost ineffectively benched him twice this year because we was ready to come back. No, we're going to stay with Fitzpatrick.
Yep.
And
38-3.
Yeah. And then, never mind. Going out there.
38-3 in the half. Hey,
yeah.
Going
out there. Yeah, going out there. And then you left him in there for a while. Now he's, back to the bench. So, yeah, tough situation over there.
Yeah. And we're what? We're in week 10 now, right?
Going to week 10. Yeah. Heading into week 10.
Let's be honest. Jameis has only seen, 4 weeks of action. No, not even 4, because he didn't play this week.
Past 3.
He didn't
3
play.
And a quarter, maybe.
He didn't play. Yeah, he didn't play last week. The week prior or whatever, and then they had a bye before he came back. I think too. Like after the 38-3 drubbing by the Bears in the first half. Yeah, then they had the bye, I think, and then stop, man, knock it off.
Maybe Cutter's trying to get fired like he was alluding to earlier.
Yeah, what you coming back to? If it's magic, if it's tragic.
Yeah, let me
talk about Jekyll and Hyde.
Right, no doubt.
Yeah, crazy.
The Washington Redskins.
Yeah,
Jay Gruden.
Yeah,
the current NFC East leading 5-3.
Yeah, that
Washington
could go either way.
Redskins.
That could go either way.
Yeah, if he gets them to the playoffs, I think they keep him.
I think if he wins the division,
right, which will get to the playoffs.
Right.
Well, again, yeah. Well, let me preface that.
Yeah.
Only when one's coming out of the East if they win the division, and I'm sold on that.
Maybe so.
Sold on that.
Maybe so. Hey, man, anybody could have we're 8 games in, so 8-9 games in, anything could happen.
That's true. But like I said, whoever wins the division will be the only representative of the NFC least in the playoffs this year. So, Philly's primed, obviously. We've talked about how these teams got to kind of play each other over the course. The injuries aren't helping them much now, but Gruden definitely safe for the most part now. We'll getting towards the end of the season, maybe that changes, but there's definitely out of the ones that we talked about and what we've seen happen over the first 9 weeks, he's the safest of the 4.
Yeah.
We put it that way.
We can review it once we get to our yearly, when you and I, we talk near the end of the year and we go over under on coaches being fired.
Oh yeah. No doubt.
Let's talk about who may have joined the list since then.
Fair enough. Yeah. Since Jay's a little safe. Well, I'm putting on there.
Who?
Carrot Top. Hey, and let me tell you how I know he's feeling the heat. Yeah, I was telling all the Cowboys fans about this last night. Hey, go back and look at the tape. Go look at the tape. Hey, man, he might only clapped 3 times.
Ooh.
Hey, he wasn't on the sideline clapping a whole lot last night like usual.
Mm-hmm. Felt that heat on his butt.
They dialed the tape up. He wasn't on there just clapping away like everything was just good. So,
nah, man. Zeke was the one that had me kind of like emotional, in any type of way. It was just watching him on the sideline, just like, man, like, I ain't signed up for this.
Can you only imagine what Dez was saying last year behind the scenes?
Bro.
It even alluded, and it said as much, it was just about said coaching.
Hey, man, look, there are college teams, and I'm not going to go on a college football rant here, but there are college teams that have like brotherhoods, like there's teams out there like Alabama, Ohio State, Gators, Seminoles. Them people talk. You hear me? And then you have like, you don't want to have just players that talk to each other that came from the same college, right? I mean, like, look over there, what's going on in New Orleans with that defense, with them now, acquiring Eli Apple from the Giants. Like, 4 of them dudes in that secondary are Ohio State players, and watch how they play together. And it's something I forgot to remark about in that Saints and that Rams game was, just watching the Saints attack like together in groups during that game on the Rams. Like, these players talk to each other, okay?
Yeah, man.
And then,
and I was going to say, and just to kind of backdoor that, shout out to Dennis Allen, the defensive coordinator over there, turning that thing around. I mean, we get it. They scored 35 points for the Rams, but overall, for the most part, that defense, like you were saying, was attacking and flying around doing a great job.
And that's kind of typical Payton, defense. They bend but don't break. Especially when they're on a run, they bend but they don't break. But these players, man, like, and then you also got to remember, like, some of the guys that, all these older people, in our huddle group that, remember the olden days, if you will. And I ain't talking about, the 20s or 30s or 40s or whatever. I'm talking about, those heydays with the Niners and the Cowboys battles and, the division battles between the Eagles and the Giants and things of that nature. Like, these older players that they're connected to, man, I'm talking about from Jacksonville to Tampa to, to Dallas, to all these other places, organizations where you see popular players. Like, man, them cats talk to Dion on a weekly basis, talk to the Chris Carters of the world on a weekly basis. Like, you don't want guys talking to other players and them getting advice from guys that they've been dealing with on a regular basis before they got to your organization, going, man, you need to get up on out of there, bro. That ain't the place for you. Because once you got them kind of people in their ear, not to mention, their families, their significant others, their management, man, you have yourself a bundle of problems on your table. This ain't the old days where, they put you on a team and that's that. And if you wanted to finish your career, finish playing football for a long time and make your money, you better sit your butt on that team. Guys get traded now. There's free agency. People can social media their way off a team to get to a better situation. So be careful, Dallas Cowboys, when you're over there playing around with Coach Clapp and you got Ezekiel Elliott, your best offensive weapon on the team, next to Amari Cooper, and he got the sad face on. What? Man, I'll play too much.
Man, not getting him the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Point blank period.
He's a beast.
Yeah, it's mind-boggling, but and I said this before the game. I was like, man, this game that's going to be boom or bust. I said either we're going to explode and here we are. I said, or it's going to be just like the other games and we're going to be like, oh, look at the play calling again. And that's just what it was, man.
What I say to you when you made that move with Amari? What I say?
Oh yeah,
someone's going to lose their job. Amari is going to expose somebody.
Yeah, but Dez was already exposed to them, but they tried to spin it in a different way, in a different light.
Yes, they do.
Is what they did. But, again, you can change the names of the players, and it's still the same thing. You got a young core here. Dak's 25, Mari's 24, Zeke's 23.
Mm-hmm.
Go find your Sean McVay. I know they don't grow on trees.
Oh, yeah, boy.
But go find you that guy with
get your
those
enemy.
pieces.
Go get Eric Bieniemy.
Bieniemy. Maybe go dip and see if you can drop the Brinks truck on Lincoln Riley and bring him over.
Right.
But you have to be proactive in that because you don't have a first-round pick, so you're not going to go get you a quarterback this year's draft coming up. And for the most part, there's going to be a team. I mean, you'd rather be picking next year unless you're going to be number one overall this year, in my opinion. So there's that. Garrett square one, A1 is definitely on that list. I mean, at this point, and if you look at the rest of their schedule, you're 3-5 now. Yeah. That means you got to go 6-2 just to get to 9-7. That includes 2 games against the Eagles, a game against the Redskins, which they've already beat you, by the way. You got to play New Orleans you're at home, but you're still playing New Orleans with now maybe even a Dez. I'm sure he can tell them plenty about the Linehan playbook. The Falcons still are on deck. So, yeah, you're going you got to go 6-2 to get 9-7. Not going to happen. So that's the end of the year for the Cowboys as far as the playoff talk. I don't want to hear it no more. Yeah. As far as another one on the hot seat,
I mean, just had it on my mind when we started the topic too. I
mean, Denver. Obviously, we mentioned that. With
Denver.
EJ. I mean, maybe more of a scapegoat than anything with what's going on there with the top down, as you say. But he's definitely in the crosshairs, no doubt.
Yep.
Jets.
Yeah, Jets coach is on the hot seat. He's probably done so.
Probably going to look to get them a offensive-minded guy there for young Sam, I would imagine.
I don't know if this is fair or what. Like, I can't find the word right now. I don't know if this is fair or if this is from left field or reaching, but Mike Tomlin is probably on the hot seat. And half of it, probably the organization is going to make him take the blame. And half of it is probably his fault. I mean, obviously we know the deal with the Le'Veon Bell situation. Sure, you got lucky. You drafted a kid, a couple years back, and he's impacting the game. You haven't lost much from that part of the game, but hey, let's be real. If in that particular division of the NFL, if you don't win that division and go on a rep, that's a failure for a season.
Giving you the side eye a little bit there on that one. Give me the side eye a little bit.
Hey.
See, he's a dark horse for Coach of the Year for me.
Yeah, sure. You can spin it that way.
Because now, you have clear control of the division. You saved the ship when it was sinking. When you were 1-2-1, and all the things were circulating, and there was problems, and the sky was falling, and oh my God, where's Bell? And you got Bell with the little winky tweets, and he's on a boat in Miami tweets, and what's going on there? And
but
listen to me.
Hold on. Without you, let me finish that, and that's kind of going to hang him up because all the talk, the chatter, whether it's media or people that used to work there that don't work there anymore, saying whatever they have to say about him losing control of that locker room, man, you don't want that to be the story when you don't make the playoffs this year because the Bengals snuck around and got around you and got in.
I mean, maybe, but here's the thing: that was happening before the winning came, and the biggest cure-all or the best deodorant when you stink is winning, and you don't hear that talk anymore. And better yet,
I use Degree. I don't know about
you. Degree, me too. I like the powder fresh.
Yeah,
not the gel, but the powder fresh.
Yes.
And he has that in boatloads because he has circled those wagons. They're 5-2-1. The AB situations magically disappeared. In some of those things that was going on,
he's catching touchdowns. He's getting his yards. That's why most receivers shut up.
Hey, but that's coaching.
He
wasn't getting them. Now he is getting them.
Hey, Maybe
you got Connor doing his thing. And let's be real, they already beat the Bengals in Cincinnati. Bengals aren't catching them. AJ Green's hurt. Thank God he doesn't have foot surgery. But AJ Green's out. They're not catching them. Steelers are going to run away with this division now.
I don't know. I know this much. I know that he's pretty lucky. He's got Big Ben.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
got Antonio Brown.
Juju.
A couple guys he drafted a couple years ago, and Juju and Connor.
Yeah, why?
Washington's kind of fell off, but Washington's there.
Mm-hmm.
And I neglected to mention this weeks ago, but Joe Hayden, man, like trying to dial it back to before he got cut from Cleveland. Mm-hmm. Like Joe Hayden is coming on.
Yeah.
So
trying to find the old Falcon youth.
Yeah.
Doing his thing. But like I said, man, I mean, I can't put him out there. I put Mike McCarthy on that seat before I put
definitely
Tomlin.
Him first before Tomlin.
Definitely McCarthy, independent of where this season goes for the rest of the year.
But what do they do though, B? Like what do they do there in Green Bay in that situation? Like this is your boy, like honestly asking you, what are we doing?
Man, okay. We're gonna call a spade, right?
All right.
You got A-Rod.
Okay.
All right. You've only made it to one Super Bowl with this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And we've changed things around, and then we're going to get back into some of what we talked about with the Cowboys. Well, you've changed things around him. Right. You've changed the receivers, right? Whether it's Jennings, then down the line, right? We've shuffled the receivers.
Yeah.
Okay. We've shuffled the running backs.
Mm-hmm.
We've shuffled some defensive personnel. Hey, we went and got you a Peppers. We got rid of. Hey, we shuffled the defensive coordinator. Hell, we've even shuffled the GM. Imagine that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What's the only thing we ain't shuffled? Well, I guess we could say two things because we got him a tight end this year too. That we shuffled some of that. Marty B last year.
Yeah.
Jimmy Graham this year. There's only two things. There's only two things you ain't shuffled.
Right.
That's A-Rod.
Yep, the QB or the coach.
And McCarthy. And hey, we got a bird's eye view of the QB being shuffled out last year with the broken collarbone, and how were the returns on that?
Right.
Bro,
what is? If you're done, I want to ask you another question.
Okay, yeah, and I'm done. Yeah, go.
What do you think A-Rod should do? I mean, me personally, before you answer, me personally, if I was A-Rod, I wouldn't have re-upped. I'd have been out.
Well, we know A-Rod's pretty shrewd behind the scenes.
Sure is.
He literally, for y'all that don't know, he literally hit up the Falcons GM and said, hey, can you go ahead and get that deal done for me, please? With
Matt Ryan.
So I can get mine done. And not too much longer after that, it got done so things could proceed.
Yeah, I think it was like 24 hours. I think it's
so,
36.
So he's not afraid to speak, and look, and every player is different. Not every player, some players want to go through their agent, let them handle it. Some are direct. A-Rod to me seems like to be a pretty direct guy. If I'm A-Rod, I go to the GM and say, hey, look, he wouldn't be the first quarterback ever to want a different coach. And he dang sure won't be the last one. He's got to start feeling himself. Look, I broke my collarbone again. I'm playing on this bad knee. Things aren't looking any better. We got to change something here. I just, organizationally, and maybe with the new GM, even though he's got the hand from the old GM on him, helping him and steering him, this season can go really bad for them the rest of the way. And it would be the first time since, I forgot the last coach's name from them. And this is like pre. It was pre Holmgren. Anyways, but the first coach since then.
I don't know why I'm thinking about. I know why I'm thinking about the Steelers because I just.
Oh, it's talking about yeah.
I just saw something. No, I actually just saw Tomlin's son committing to Maryland because he's a wide receiver.
Gotcha, but to miss playoffs back-to-back years. This is Green Bay.
Yeah, man.
This is 20 plus years of having Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers, an embarrassment of riches at the quarterback position.
Mm-hmm.
You miss back-to-back in quote unquote maybe A-Rod's prime years, man. Somebody got to go. There's no way. You got to you got to move on from home. Lord, now listen to me, from McCarthy.
Yeah, look at guys also like, one of Homeboy's best buddies on that team. I mean, he may not be Jordy close, but he's close. I mean, look at Clay Matthews, like wasting that dude as he's about to go probably near the twilight of his career.
Oh, well, I mean, when you're bouncing back and forth and you can't get the linebackers right, well, you're outside. Well, now we're going to move you inside.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, now we got a situation you kind of go back outside. No, there's an injury. No, go back inside.
Probably moved A.J. Hawk a little too early, too, in my eyes.
Maybe, but he had lost a step. Maybe could have gave you the first 2 downs, but he had lost a step.
Sure.
But
look at old Julius. Look at old Julius Peppers coming back and.
Man, yeah, Julius is a different beast, though.
Man, he is.
Julius is a different beast, though, bro. But yeah, I mean, some of the Clay stuff, inside, outside, whatever, I mean, some of that's going on. But yeah, there's been some money left on the table, you could say, with A-Rod in this organization. And, pick and choose how much you want to lay at the foot of Mike McCarthy on that.
Yeah.
I think I have to lay a little bit more of a pound of flesh that way than I do the other way.
I don't know. I think, let me know if you agree with me here.
Okay.
I think Mike McCarthy's done this year if they don't make it to the playoffs.
Yeah, I think you got to be.
I think he's done now. I think like if they thought they could like, I think they're just giving him the respect. And I think if they could fire him now, they would. That particular situation right there, I could see we're not making the playoffs and it's week 14, 15, and we fire the coach with 2 games left.
Maybe. I mean, he was the Super Bowl winning coach, and it's the Green Bay way. They might hold that to the end of the year.
Right, to the end of the year.
And the division is very winnable still. I mean, we get it. They lost 2 straight. Sky's falling right now. They're 3-4-1.
Yeah.
They still got to play the Bears again, which I said earlier, they're 5-3. But I mean, just for the totality of what's been going on there, just something seems like needs to change.
Yeah. Real quick, let's switch gears real quick.
Okay.
We can come back to those guys later on. Let's do a quick rundown of who you think like Coach of the Year candidates are.
Coach of the Year. I mean, the obvious joints, right? Andy Reid's got to be there.
Yep. I say Reid. I say
McVay, obviously.
I think we both agreed earlier. Anthony Lynn. LA Chargers.
Yes. Yeah. The LA. Well, no, still San Diego till they make the playoffs. Said it, and I'm sticking to it.
I'm just start calling them the Lightning Bolts.
The Bolts. Go Bolts. But yeah, the job he's done there for sure. 6-2 right on the heels.
It's got that offensive Payton line playing like hell, boy. Like hell.
I say, Sean Payton to see. I mean, you throw the hoodie in there. I mean, it's the hoodie. They're 7-2. Mm-hmm. Makes the trade for Gordon. It's working out pretty well for them.
Yeah.
They were able to withstand until Edelman got back after, being on suspension. So, I mean, you throw him in there.
Yeah, I said that before, too, man, with Belichick, man. Like, not enough credit given to the guy. Schemer of schemers, man.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's only won like 3 Coach of the Years, maybe. Kind of crazy, right?
I think he only won like 5 Super Bowl rings, maybe.
Yeah, so he's only been to 8. So, I mean, just 8 Super Bowls as head coach, 3 coaches a year, whatever. Hey. Yeah. Like I said, for me, Steelers, dark horse, depending on how they finish the year. Mike Tomlin, even though you're saying he's gone, I mean, that's kind of a. I mean, I get where you're coming from.
I just think he's on the hot seat. I just think he's on the hot seat.
I don't.
Definitely Andy Reid for me because of what he's done with the kid after losing Alex Smith. Year 2, kids in there throwing bombs, like he was doing in college. But definitely, like, I mean, what he's done with that kid, like, to the point now where we're, like, literally, like, and other people are literally like, man, he didn't go for 400 yards. Oh, man.
Man, them pinball numbers.
Amen.
But, Yeah, which I mentioned Andy, but I mean, if we go through the AFC, Patriots, Chiefs, right? So that's Hoodie, Reid, Chargers with Lynn, dark horse with Tomlin and the Steelers. All right, now I'm gonna put you on the spot. I'm gonna ask you a question.
I hope I know the answer.
Lost 3 straight to open the year, won 6 straight since in first place. Texans.
Don't
Billy
you
O'Brien.
do it? Don't you do it?
Bill O'Brien getting some love. It maybe a little dark horse in the Coach of the Year race here. Maybe get a little.
I don't know. I think he might be lucky too. It's a shame that they lost this guy, Will Fuller, when he went down. But
but what a come up with getting DT though. Jeez.
Man, yeah, they got him, but I mean, you got Will Fuller. Deshaun's, getting healthier. And he's throwing bombs, on people. And, I don't know, I don't think enough credit or, much mention is made of this, but Deshaun Watson, I'm watching this kid reading defenses now, and that seems to be like the, when you play Madden, you get to power up certain things, skills. And I think every week that kid's dialing up a notch or two in that particular talent, recognition of the defense and things like that. I like that about the kid. So Billy O'Brien, nah.
No dark horse for you.
I can't give it to him, man. I can't.
Okay. 6 straight. I got you. All right. Let's flip up to the NFC. Obviously, McVay and Payton lead the way there.
Yep.
I mean, I think Riverboat Ron Rivera for sure with the Panthers, 6-2.
Getting them all dialed in. They're all dialed in over there.
Bears 5-3. Nagy, dark horse consideration?
I give him a dark horse consideration, but I mean, obviously, we need to see how the rest of the season goes. And look, maybe we need to flip that. Maybe the coach of the year is Gruden for allowing them to have Khalil Mack over there and infuse that defense. So, hey, look,
wait a minute.
Don't put that on me. Those are the kind of things that you say to me sometimes.
Hold on, wait a minute. Gruden might be coach of the year because looking at how the Cowboys are playing, he might end up with 2, like the number 1 and the number 6 pick overall.
Oh boy, that's sad. But yeah, coach of the year, Gruden for sure.
Okay, so that we kind of covered over both of them. All right, give me one. Your number 1 from AFC and your number 1 from NFC.
I gotta go Andy Reid and I gotta go Sean Payton. Man, I mean, it's Pepe. Not Pepe, not the Peyton Manning, not the other Pepe.
Man, I tell you
Marcel's
what,
guy.
AFC. I'm gonna return serve. AFC. I'm gonna go Lynn.
Yeah.
And no knock against Andy. We've kind of seen Andy do it.
Yeah.
This is kind of what gets into the Hoodie only having 3 of these type of accolades. Mm-hmm. But what he's doing there with the injuries we saw early in the season on both sides of the ball, and to be right on the heels of the Chiefs right now, I think I give the tip of the cap just a smidge to Lynn currently.
Yeah.
NFC, I would like to give it to McVay because one of the things I think he's done he's excelled at on what he's done this season compared to last season is they brought a lot of different personalities in there. The Talibs, the Sues, the Peters, the Cooks, and he has managed them very well on top of winning and whatnot. However, I got to go with Payton too, man.
Yeah.
I just, reining it in after the opening week loss to the Bucks.
Yeah.
Getting that defense with Dennis Allen back to where it needs to be. Surviving Mark Ingram not being there for 4 weeks.
Right.
And looking at, my God, the offense is 77. He's like 77% completion percentage this year. Then, I don't think people really understand, what that stat means. Right. That completion percentage that Breeze is throwing right now.
Right. And then the yardage to accompany that, and the TDs.
Right. That offense that Peyton's dialing up right now is humming.
Yeah. The willingness to step back and let a package like Taysom Hill's package come in.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And run what they run and be successful at it and be happy. And also be able to sit on the sideline. I made mention of this before. Be able to sit on the sideline and be able to pick apart personnel before you go dial it up, watch him walk on the field, and have Drew Brees goes, nah, don't let him run it. Let Taysom run it because he ran it this week and he didn't. Like, all about winning. And these guys have the records to back it up currently right now. I mean, Reid's 8-1 out in the AFC West. Lynn's 6-2. Nagy's 5-3, leading the division by a hair in the North. And McVay's 8-1. They just lost the first game to, imagine that, the Saints.
Yeah, the tag team belt holders.
Yeah, OG met the Thundercats.
Yeah,
and that's what you got. You come out with a hot L. The Saints are 7-1, not running away with the division, but they need to keep that foot on the gas because Cam got something to say about what's going on over there.
Yeah, my preseason MVP pick, doing good for your boy. Well, I said MVP like season, so he's doing good.
You also said Carolina would come out of that division too. So
I did, yeah. But Saints are definitely, like I said, I'm definitely riding with Payton. Obviously, they got the win over McVay, so I'll give him the nod. Rams got some of that good old gumbo served up to him.
Yeah. Hey, what if matchup?
Okay.
Playoff for the conference.
Okay.
Carolina or the Rams? Head to head, hat on a hat. Take them with the teams as currently constructed, and even go ahead and put a key. Go ahead and bring a key back on the roster.
I'd have to go with Cam, because I have to go with. I've seen him in the playoffs do it before.
Yeah, he turns it up 2 levels.
Right, and I haven't seen Goff be able to do it in the playoffs yet. You got to play a playoff game last year. You wasn't able to get it done. Yeah. I get it. You've added some pieces on the defense and offensive side of the ball with Brandon Cooks, no doubt, who's an upgrade to me over Sammy Watkins.
Yep. Yeah.
But that boy
Cam turns into a cyborg, man.
I'll tell you what's scary to me is like when everything's clicking and Cam's in a great mood and things are going well.
Yeah.
He's a different player. He's very. I mean, I don't want to use
he's having fun.
Yeah, but
when he was catching all the heat for all the celebrations and stuff. Yeah, he's having fun, man.
And don't it feel a lot like that same season they made that run to the Super Bowl?
Yeah, definitely. But like when he's having fun, man, like I'm telling you, like dude's a cyborg, man. Like you can't stop him. You can't. And his team feeds off of that.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Yeah. No North Turner. Yeah, baby. Just. The right little mixture in there for him in the offseason,
And as much as I hate to go against that, considering what the Rams do, I got to go with Cam too, man. If that matchup happens, I go with Cam, bro, all day.
And of course, speaking of that, that takes us into that Thursday night matchup.
Yeah.
Back to our regular scheduled program and some good games on Thursday night.
Oh my goodness.
Panthers at Steelers.
Somebody gonna get a hurt real bad.
Man, oh man, I'm here for it. You have, it's now we're getting into that. Every week we're going to have some matchups that we're going to like, that game. I mean,
just so everyone is aware, I will be watching that game.
No sleep this Thursday.
No, I can't sleep on that game right there.
Oh man, obviously we're getting close to the Bell situation, and let's see how that plays out.
Yeah.
If he decides to show up.
Yeah.
I saw somewhere he says he might just sit out for the year. Now I don't know how that, and I have to look up how that's going to play into next year because I know they retain his rights.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't get the year accrued or whatnot, so that'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
Right.
Obviously he had the tweet that he misspelled farewell Miami, and he was letting on about that. Said you had 9 weeks to, spell farewell properly, but whatever. So that kind of gives you the idea, or indicates that he's headed back to Pittsburgh.
Where are we as a society when we're sitting here calling out spelling errors on social media? Like,
hey man, they should have seen it, man. They you already know. You on Twitter, man. You slip up, kiss the baby.
Yeah,
you already know they're going in.
Yeah,
I just went down. I was like, oh my god. I mean, it's okay, guys. Let him. He's got more money than you.
That's terrible. It's a terrible statement to make.
Hey, I'm just saying. I mean, the man's been to Miami living his best life for like 3 months. So what if you misspelled farewell?
Hold on, let me break out my karaoke mic. I'm living my best life. I ain't going back and forth with you, brothers.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, keep that clean.
Yeah.
Keep that clean. But, yeah, it should be good, man. I mean, first thing that pops off in my head, you got two teams that are kind of similar. One's a little bit more in the pass game with the Steelers. Not that the Panthers can't sling it. One's a little bit more in the run game because obviously with Cam, they like to run a little bit more, but the running backs are very similar in running and catching the ball. You know, the matchups outside are going to be nice, you know, AB and Juju. And then, of course, you got Greg Olsen. And, hey, man, a shout out to Funches, too. You know, Funches is actually what Kelvin Benjamin was supposed to be for them. And it's funny, right, because when Funches was in Michigan, they were like, well, really, he's just a really fast tight end playing wide receiver. But as came into the league, played wide receiver, and gave the catch radius of what they wanted with him. And obviously made them comfortable enough to let Kelvin Benjamin go, and has been fine. And then, of course, DJ Moore, who's coming on.
Yeah, I was just about to say, like, you have worries. You have legit worries in Carolina when you're guarding that receiver core. Legit. And, you know, we also know that the little fella in the backfield, old Christian McCaffrey, you can split him out and run him if you want to, too. But he's probably a lot more dangerous on jet sweeps, you know, passes in the flat. You know,
whatever. Just get him in space.
Flea flicker type stuff. He can do whatever, man. But he was, you know, when he was doing that stuff at Stanford, I mean, like, you know, it's crazy, man.
Yeah,
crazy.
No doubt.
And he's a tough one.
Yeah, for sure.
So
for sure.
Yeah, definitely. This two, both of these teams streaking. You know, the Steelers are on like a 4-game streak. I don't know, but the Panthers are like 3 or 4 games or something like that.
Panthers, I think, are 4 or 5.
But you know, these teams are streaking, bro, and it's getting down to that time of the year, you know, when everybody comes back from eating on Turkey Day. You know, it's time to settle down, grindstone, back to the nitty gritty. Teammates gonna be bonding, you know, over turkey legs and stuff, bro. Like this is the time, and I don't know if I can pick a winner. For this particular game, but I'm going to go with Carolina. I mean, just merely off the strength of, you know, watching how Carolina's defense plays versus what Pittsburgh's defense does. And then, I mean, the rookie Dante Jackson putting in work on Mike Evans, you know, in the Bucs game, man. You shut down a number 1 wide receiver like that, 1 catch for a whole game, bro. And he was on him like the whole game. So, yeah, I mean, I expect that he's either going to see some sort of combo coverage on AB, or he's probably going to be responsible for like Juju, you know, and go from there. But I got Carolina, man.
I think this game is going to come down to not just who gets the most pressure on the quarterback, who's actually able to get said quarterback on the ground.
Yeah, that's because both of those guys hard to bring down.
Yeah, hard to bring down. I think whoever can get those guys on the ground the most, I think can get the job done. Man, I think the Panthers are just a little too warm right now for the Steelers.
Yeah, definitely that defense is flying around, man. Like guys don't care what scheme you're running. You in the zone block, sure, get out of the way. You know what I mean? You want to cover gaps, yeah, sure, whatever. Get out the way. We don't care.
Yeah, I mean, that linebacking core of Shaq,
you know,
Luke, and Tommy.
Yeah, man. And Thomas Davis don't even look like he lost step, like not even in the slightest.
Those dudes, right? I mean, you know, we talk about a lot of different linebacking cores and everything.
Yeah.
You know, whether it's the rotation that you got in Chicago.
Yeah.
You know, whether, you know, we're seeing a young Jalen Smith and Sean Lee come on with LVE coming in.
Yep.
You know, you go to Denver when you got the Chubb on one side and you got the one and only Von Miller, you know, on the other side.
Yep.
You know, the KJ Wrights and oh boy, the guy that could have been the Super Bowl MVP, Seattle's guy. Wow, really?
Who'd you forget?
Not KJ Wright, the other one. How can I forget his name? That's tragic.
Who, linebacker?
Yeah.
Who you talking about?
Oh, come on,
boy.
Man. Come on, man. Bobby Wagner.
Lord Wagner. Yeah, it couldn't come. It didn't come to me.
Yeah, I was like, ugh. You lost it for a second. But, man, I'll put up that linebacking core pretty much against anybody's.
Yeah.
I mean, they go toe for toe. And don't sleep on the fact that addition of Reid at safety.
Yeah.
Huge for that defense, because that defense seemed to go up another notch when he got added.
Yeah, turn Fitz magic into Fitz tragic over there the other day, and definitely I don't know if it's because there's a camaraderie in the league. He knew some of the players or what, but man, just him talking to other guys and other guys in tune with what he had to say, whether it's in between snaps or coming off the field or on the sideline. Yeah, I was definitely watching that dynamic with Eric Reid, man.
Well, and the thing about him, too, is we know Luke's the quarterback there. Mm-hmm. Eric is that kind of player, though, too, from an IQ standpoint.
Yes. No doubt.
So Luke can only do so much in that front seven, but now you get a guy like Reid there in that back half to get those guys in order, and that's why we've seen that jump in that defense come across. Again, man,
he's well respected too, man. Eric Reid is well respected.
Atlanta could have used him with all them safety injuries, but
he is well respected, man. I mean, not to stray into politics, but I mean, some of the stuff that was going on with the anthem stuff, when players were asked to weigh in on that, players was like, yeah, I mean, definitely agree with Eric Reid, or some guys were just trying to stay neutral. I never really heard anybody say Malcolm Jenkins is our guy or whatever. Eric Reid has definitely got that respect across the league. And, look, his play in San Francisco, why he was ever released was beyond me. But why you didn't bring him back if you had the chance to, beyond me. But, whatever, we know that that's something else, and that's we don't deal with that here on this podcast. But honestly, man, San Francisco lost a good one, man. They lost a good one. So, we got coming up on deck, man. Knicks at 6 Thursday.
Yeah, Knicks at 6 on Thursday.
Drop that before the game, bro. I don't want no interruptions when I see Cam come running down the field.
Yeah,
problems.
What you want
to talk about on that?
Man, I'll tell you, one of the things I'm for sure going to get into is, I don't know about you.
Yeah.
Tackling this weekend across the board, not just one game here, one game there, just tackling across the board this week in the NFL was atrocious.
Yeah.
Fundamentals, man, it was atrocious.
Now that you mention it, though, there was a play in that Packers-Patriots game. Linebacker Martinez went after Brady, and he about had him. And Brady released that ball, and you could see where he was trying to kind of pull up, and dude tweaked his ankle. That is the result of guys trying to adjust on the fly when they're running at 25, 30 miles an hour at another human being to do their job. And now they're injured. And it's such a catch-22, right? Because we all know coaches watch film. People watch film. Man, when you give up or you're looking disinterested or lackadaisical or, you're not completing tackles, you're not wrapping people up, man, those are the things that get you cut. You know what I mean? Those are things that get you on the bubble. Those are things that move you to second string, third string, or, released, in this league. And with the way that this rule's set up now with these QBs, man, we're lucky that what happened to Martinez wasn't worse. That could have been an ACL or an Achilles.
Right. Let the guy down in Miami.
Yeah. So, I don't know what this NFL is doing, but... And I think we need to revisit this too. I know they kind of tweaked the rule a little bit, but we need to revisit this later on in the year. Maybe I'll run a stat, see what kind of injuries have happened. You know what I mean? And what situations. And then,
even in the Dallas game, Mariota's running, and he's running now, and he's running towards the sideline.
Yeah.
And right as LVE gets to him, he only slide feet forward. He's like sliding towards the sidelines, and LVE doesn't even hit him. It's a 15-yard penalty.
Yeah, just because his helmet came in contact with him on the side of his.
Oh, yeah, no, he would have shown every hit with the helmet. They just said he was roughing because he slid, but it was
targeting
like
the helmet. Yeah. Targeting the head.
Later on in that game, and if you go back and look at Mariota making that touchdown run that he makes, Jalen Smith could have hit him. But Jalen wasn't sure if he was going to slide or not, so he just kind of gave him a shove and didn't really go after him.
Yeah.
But that's because, I just saw my guy get a flag earlier. I don't want to get a flag here, and now he's in the end zone for 7.
And it's cascading, bro. It ain't even like, I just seen it in the same game. Right. Guys watch film. Right. Guys watch highlights. Guys watch when you see other injuries occur because a guy pulled up short on a QB. Because you didn't want to catch a penalty and damage, hurt your team. Like, even like the play with, remember the play where Brady ran for the TD against the Chiefs and dude kind of had him wrapped up and then he was about to, you know what you do. You take him and you basically kind of suplex the QB almost down to the ground. And he caught himself and said, nah. And then the way dude's legs was kind of buckled. Man, when them linemen, the tackle or the guards roll into him the wrong way and he's not sure-footed, ACL.
Yeah, man.
Broken tibia. You know what I mean? Done. And dude's season's over with. And, now they looking to replace him in the draft or in free agency, because he ain't quite healed up yet. Man, you shortening careers with some of these rules, man. It ain't cute.
Right.
But,
yeah, no doubt, man.
Yeah.
But
so Knicks at 6.
Yeah, Knicks 6. Definitely want to touch on like I said, man, tackling was just lack of effort. That's just I don't know. I was just like,
yeah, no doubt.
I mean, it started from the early games and just kind of continued on for the most part throughout it. Fundamentals, man. Fundamentals.
Yeah.
I'm going to touch on some of this. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good.
Oh, yeah.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. Some things that I saw this week, and I was like, ooh.
Make sure you detail that out because I definitely want to hear that one.
Yeah, sometimes that's so. Yeah, definitely have some things on deck for that. It'll be at 6 o'clock as usual, leading up to kickoff.
Yep.
So we can get into that and get into the game, and then preview show. You gonna go live again? Can we give the people what they want?
We could.
Hey, 2 weeks in a row, baby. I like it. I like that.
Maybe so.
I'll tell you what. That makes me happy.
Yeah, I bet. Anyhow, we've overstayed our welcome, bro. I mean, it's over 2 hours now. And
all right, well, let's get out of here. Fire Scott Linehan. I need bail money. I'll put hands on him if y'all give me bail money. I'll go up there right now.
Leave people alone. That man has a family. Sheesh.
I guess.
Keep Knicks from harming people out here in society.
I'm so angry.
Yeah, man. We'll catch you guys for Knicks at 6 in the weekend preview show.
Yes, sir.
Deep in the huddle. We're out.